if you do not all clearly see what is put in front of you, you cannot play the game. So it requires you not only use your imagination, but be self-aware that you're all on the same page and seeing the same thing. And
convention this weekend, man. Just to let you know.
And you say again? Oh, the
convention this weekend.
Okay, I won't be able to make it, but good to know. And it's one of the best ways to actually experience your story, to get into the mindset of not only the situations that your characters are going through, but just world build in a way that no other experience, even video games, can give you, because it's theater of the mind. It's all in your imagination. It's specific to you. Certain sensations and things that you have when playing, going through the details, just fills your mind, and the experience, while they're different players, are never the same with the same person, but we're all seeing the same thing. So it was through this experience.
Nothing can be left implied. Everybody has to verbalize everything. And I think that's where, in the regular world, we leave a lot implied.
Yes. Yes, we do. So it was in the D&D game that a lot of things were introduced. We weren't able to solidify a real point in the D&D game. We were just able to we're just able to experience it and realize that the environment is crazy, but it's grounded. We were able to ground the insanity, and because of that, when I tried to sleep, days went by, and I could not get over the story, which didn't make sense. And then one day it clicked, and I called Ian up and was like, "Yeah, I think I figured out your story." I think
it had to be like a year later, I swear.
No. I wrote it a year later. This is when I came to you, and I was like, "I think I figured it out." I just want to know, is it okay if I just write I'll just write one episode? I'll write a pilot. And just see how it goes. I think I have an idea, and it might be good. Ian was like, "Sure, whatever, man, do whatever, man." And
is that my normal nonchalant role with it?
Pretty much. And for 8 months, I wrote Westfield, and the pilot turned into 5 episodes. I wrote a 5-episode arc, and I'm talking about because at first I was thinking that it should be a television show. So I wrote it in the I went to school for teleplays and screenwriting, so I wrote it as a teleplay. And so it's a 60-page, each episode is a 60-page television episode, pretty much about this town called Westfield. So we had this. We finally solidified. I found a way to make it make sense. I wrote not only the pilot. A year goes by. I think I have 6 episodes, 5 or 6 episodes. And I finished 5. I'm working on 6. I go back to Ian. It's like, who never checked up, who never once asked, "Oh, how's it going with that thing?" Like, I guess he didn't take me seriously. And I was like,
that's why I'm not responsible with that. Like, whatever, man. That's what you want to do.
And I when I was working at my job, I printed out a whole bunch of copies of the script, and I proceeded to give Jackass 6 scripts. A year later, he reads them.
Hey man, I was young.
A year. I fucking wrote. I took his madness. Pearls Before Swine is the perfect way of describing it. This is your imagination. This is your world. Here it is in a 6-part format. 1 year later, I get a embodied phone call. I think at like 9 o'clock at night. Like, I read the pilot. This shit is really good. like, I forgot. I moved on to other things. I'm trying to write shorts and do another project with friends, and out of nowhere, just a phone call. I was like, what? It's like, I believe you moved or something. I think you found the scripts and you decided to read them.
I did. That's when I got my own place. So I moved from my mom. So I packed everything up. I moved into my own place, and I was getting situated. And then you got to remember, these are how you describe them. It's 60 pages, right? But it's not like a 60-page like little booklet. This is like a school 2-inch binder.
Yeah, it's a script.
So these are like 2-inch binders that are bound, and it's a stack of like 6 of them. So I guarantee you that when he gave them to me, I was doing something else, and I put them on my bookshelf at the time, and that was it. So when I unpacked my bookshelf and I was repacking stuff, I was like, "What's this?" It's like, "Oh yeah." That's how that came back.
Okay. So we started talking, and was like, I believe we agreed immediately, like, as much as we love the show and inundating action and stuff like that, it's weird enough that we can do a slow burn, but it's not going to make it as a television series. We don't have we don't have any ends. We don't know the proper people. We don't have any of the resources to even try to even do a pilot to show that, because back in the day there was no Netflix, there was no it was much more harder. The gatekeepers were far
around, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah, the gatekeepers were around, was far more stringent. YouTube didn't really open up the possibility of even having to be a thought that we could do it there. I think it was before YouTube was. I think YouTube was either rinky-dink or non-existent when we were.
YouTube was not owned by Google.
Okay, yeah, it was. Yeah, so we decided, you know what? We have good jobs at this time. Let's try to make it an independent comic book. So we first went to test whether or not it was a good idea by LA has these pitch conventions.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, scam. Anyway, they had like these pitch conventions.
Give me your ideas.
Yeah, where you can just pitch your idea. And it was there that we were like, we have all these ideas. I wrote all these different scripts. Just for experience alone, let's just go and do a test run and find out whether or not we can write a proper elevator pitch. And we can see if people are interested in the idea. Did we formulate it right? Are we communicating it correctly? Do they understand with the amount of time that we have? And we went there. We met Paul Sundstrom. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Super cool guy, and he and another gentleman, I can't remember his name, we had bought his screenwriting kit. I will find his name because he's the best, and he was one of the most helpful people there other than Paul.
That was the guy who was talking about how to get picked up by an agency.
Yes. Yeah. So we went there. It was an experience. So it was nice to meet somebody there who taught us a lot. He took our pilot for Westfield and pretty much edited it. But it was by going out and trying and pitching, we discovered that the elevator pitch was proper and well done. Nobody was interested in, but we knew nobody was going to be interested in. It was just it was just
to see.
It was just to see.
You have to stress test your ideas.
Absolutely. And we found out that quite a few ideas were good, especially one in particular. One of the guys was like, "Oh no, do you have anything? Do you have like anything written?" It's like, "Oh no, we just came with elevator pitches. And wasn't prepared," which is why I also recommend know your product inside and out, because we were caught off guard. We went with just
people. It was like he got us off guard.
Yeah.
Yelled that, "Oh no, we're not going to do that." I said, what was it? They were. I think it was Sandman or.
It was two gentlemen. It was the guy that did the horror series, the horror anthology series that was on Showtime.
Yeah.
He liked it. He liked it, the assassin pitch that we did.
Yeah.
Really liked that one, and but everybody was interested in Westfield. It's just we just I feel like we normalized it a little too much, and it just it's hard to explain and give it that flavor without having a visual presentation, which is what we're getting into. So I wrote a Bible for the pitch, and we were able to break it down by via a log line, which is the elevator pitch, and the story concept. I am going to read the log line.
Oh, is this the original one?
This is the original one.
I'm
so
this is gonna actually show the age and when we did all this stuff.
Oh,
why? When you do a product, timing is everything. So at the time, very few genre shows were hitting really hard, but this is when Lost, the first season of Lost, took off before it became a really big property.
Recognize it.
Yeah.
I didn't even. It's still in the weekly dramatic series and or comic book format. Look at my old address. We'll blur that out. But yeah, this was it. This is the original. I think 2004, dude. It was this was 2003. Okay. This was let's put it like this. This was written in Microsoft Word 97.
Yeah.
So this is rather old. So right here is the log line, which we'll read together.
Well, it's too small for me to read, but go for it, man.
No, please, you. This is, you know what? I give you the honor. You drive me. Are you?
It's technically too small for me to do it.
Okay. Okay.
Like, bigger. Oh wait, I can pitch and make it bigger. Okay, never mind.
No,
it wasn't me. It wasn't me really.
Okay. So after just trying to forge this madness, this is what we came up with to tell a grounding story of what Westfield is. Series logline: a man in search of his father falls asleep at a bus station and awakens on the border of a bizarre town called Westfield. That's all we could do.
That is a wonderful entry.
Yes.
It another sentence to follow.
Yeah. Bizarre is bizarre is a word. I would use another one. But yeah. So
funny.
So there we go. We write this Bible. We go and pitch it. We field test it. We find people are interested in it, but they need more. Do we? I believe some people were asking, well, do you have like what was it?
They want storyboards.
Storyboards, yeah. Do we have storyboards and that sort of thing? Which we weren't. This was our first attempt
to know that we needed storyboards.
They
and not having headshots.
The event billed itself as this place where you were just supposed to make verbal pictures. It was just like come in with the line, just practice, talk to industry people, and see if your idea is good. You know, every once in a while, somebody comes up with an idea that is the $1 million one, and they buy it on the spot. Sure, they do. So we went. Got no luck, but got a lot of positive feedback, and then was like, okay, bringing the TV is going to be impossible with us being nobody knowing who we are. So let's rewrite it into a comic book, and let's see if we can just instead of just getting a storyboard, let's do like a level 0 comic.
All that stuff.
Yeah, doing a level. Just a version of the comic book. And again, this is the internet is a baby. We have AOL. We are using CD-ROM discs and dialing up. Nobody.
You had to mail the CD to people.
You had to mail this AOL CD to people to get 100